Let's create a simple terminal, Scifi terminal here just for fun. And the key of this exercise is gonna be, running a blockout. And really, blockouts are so important. You can't neglect blockouts, because if you do that, you're never gonna be really good at modeling, okay? Blockouts are the most important thing you can do when you model. And they just are, absolutely essential, okay? So let's cut this here, press B for bevel, and let's run 7 segments. Let's approve this. I think this should be enough. And what we're gonna do is we're going to cut this from the front here, like this, right? And then let's just actually drop it down, GZ, and actually make this deeper. Cool. Let's apply this. So click on this mesh here and alt click on F scroll. I'm using hard ups and box cutter, obviously. Who doesn't, right? Because they make things much easier. GY and move it deeper. This one I think should be a bit deeper, so somewhere here. So this one can be wider. So Y and change the width of this chamfer. Let me see if I can actually do this. There we go. That's with Mesh Machine, which is a fantastic add-on. Let's just mirror this to the other side like this and run a line in the middle. So we're gonna have a nice clean line here in the middle, so we can get rid of these two fuckers, which gonna cause problems. And then we're gonna grab all these here in corners and, and bevel them as well with 7 segments as well. And I think it's gonna be enough. Run a bevel on everything, thinner and weighted normals. And now it's a good time to save because, reasons. So I've been actually running this in Blender 5.0.1, and as expected, that version is garbage as well. It was crashing on me. So 4.5, 5.0, anything with 5 is like Windows Vista, man. It's just absolute fucking toss. I don't know what the hell they're smoking in Amsterdam, but must be good. Anyway, so let's grab these and drop them down, GZ. I want to make this, more or less with the same thickness, right? So, more or less, right? There we go. And this is a good base. Cool. Now, what I also want to do is I want to make it a bit more interesting, right? So here on the side, what we're going to do, we're going to cut this. So let's cut it like this across. Press T and X to go into insert boolean like this. That's lovely. And we're gonna have to apply this and then run some bevels on that. So boom and mirror, peachy. Now we messed up in here, unfortunately. We're gonna have to fix this. So that was cut by the boolean, I think. So if you're gonna run into a situation like this, it's really easy to fix, because what we're gonna do is gonna select all these faces, right? And this one as well. And then we're going to delete them. So delete faces, right? Then we're going to grab this one and press 4 with machine tools, sphere, alt click F. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, fair enough. Select all these F, mirror to the other side, Bob's your uncle, right? And then let's actually press 3 to clean it. We got some dirt in here, but we can actually fix it by moving this face in. So move it like this with a mesh machine, clean it, and I think we should be good. Actually, let me just try to clean this with hard ups. And there you go, fixed. Now we also have to clean these. Probably we can just nuke them. Nope, that's a bad idea. Let's combine them in here. Is there a double edge in here? I think so. Something's fishy going in here. Hang on, what the hell is this? There's something in here. that I don't need. Faces, faces. I think we're good now, right? Clean it, perfect. See, like when you know, modeling, you need to know how to fix stuff. Yeah, it's a good exercise. All right, so let's grab these, and so I think still this should be a little bit deeper to emphasize this here, and also I'm gonna be able to run a, you know, a proper bevel. So bevel just this one, right? And mirror, and then let me try running chamfer here. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Let me see that. Well, it would be awesome if I could also run a chamfer here, which is gonna be a bit problematic. You see, like when you have this kind of a situation, what you wanna do, you wanna extend these edges, okay? So you subdivide this edge here, you bring this vert down with machine tools, you create an edge here to guide the bevel, and then, you know, Bob's your uncle. See what I mean? I mean bevel, chamfer, that's what I meant. Let's make this chamfer the same width, right? And then mirror and peachy. And now we got this illusion of a chamfer going around, which is kind of cool because it's broken in here, right? And then you could technically, you know, bevel this, right? So if you wanted to, so it's gonna look a bit softer, yeah. Cool. So that's that. Now the back could be inset. So and we're gonna fix these with unfuck from mesh machine. So unfuck and boom, right? Okay, so now here in the back, let's grab this and mirror to the left and to the bottom. Just be careful you don't do this. You see, that's a problem. So we're gonna have to actually manually unfuck this here too. So let's do that and then mirror to the other side. We good? Yeah. You have to be very careful with mesh machine mirror because that shit is fucking deadly. You know what I mean? So let's go to the top and cut it in here like this. So D, and yeah, there you go. Come on. My line is on. Let's turn it off. There we go. Let's just, you know, cut it. Let's recover this. Let's bring it a bit deeper, not too deep, and bring this one closer and, you know, do that, and I think we're good to go. This is a little bit too wide. SX, and scale this a little bit. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Let's create some kind of like a vent here on the top. So what we could do is run a cut here with a knife and elevate this. Run bevels on that. And let's just run a knife cut here. So we're gonna clean up these connections, which are just awful. Let's try to run a cleanup. So clean mesh, peachy. On this connection is not ideal. Something like this would probably be better. J and you could, there we go. And we're gonna have some funds on top or whatnot, you know what I mean? So chamfer I think gonna be fine. I think bevel gonna be better. Yeah, it just makes more sense. Cool. Now here in the front we could also create some cuts. So let me actually run what do you call this, a wedge cut here. There we go. That's gonna be probably better. GX, actually make it smaller, and then mirror. Yeah, that's much better. We could actually have the same thing on the bottom. Let's cut this here with a knife, and maybe run a loop here and pop this down. bevel this, and Bob's your uncle. How are we looking? Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Okay, now we need to get this monitor out, so shift curve extract. And by the way, if you're not working with add-ons, just like I do now, you're doing yourself a mischief, do you know what I mean? Because add-ons are quick, so time is something you will not be able to get back, so just think about it, you know what I mean? So if you want to learn how to work fast with add-ons, then grab our course, The Ultimate Guide to Hardups and Box Cutter 2.0, the link in the video description. It's just it's really fun. Okay, it's really fun. It's packed with really cool information, and you will love it. And if you are new to Blender, well, then you probably should consider starting with the with Accelerator. Is this mirrored? I think it's mirrored. Let me just apply this. Yeah, I think I cut this on the mirror side. Wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? Let me Operation Smart apply. Ah, yeah, it was mirrored. Fair enough. Let me just grab a circle here and E. Come on. I don't want to go through. There we go. Go to the other side. Let me just mirror this. There we go. Two of them on the top is fine. See, like when you go into when you have a blockout done and it's kind of guiding you, a good blockout's gonna guide you where you want to put the details, you know what I mean? So you're not gonna be confused and all that. Let's put some holes here on the top. I have this feeling this shit's gonna crush when I run another power save. Let me just run this in the middle. So I'm gonna enable dots with Hardups, and let me switch this to a regular cut. And let's just I freaking love these add-ons. It's so much fun to work with them. They're so quick, like you save so much time. It's insane. Do you know what I mean? Let me just stay in the cut version, press V for an array, and I'm going to create two of these here. It's gonna be like vents or some shit, right? And let's chamfer these, and I'm gonna run loop slide. So I'm gonna fix these issues here. Grab these two and shift curve extract, sharpen them, select them both, right, and create some kind of capacitors or whatever. I don't, whatever it is here on top. This could be done with decals. I mean, we don't have to overdo this, but just for fun, right? There we go, right? Something on top, and we could have some kind of an antenna as well, because it's gonna be a military equipment, right? So we could have some kind of like a cut in here, sharpen this. We could align this a little bit better, so GY and move it here, and we could just chamfer this and grab this one. I'm keep pressing O because I'm used to plasticity. Grab that, and let's just scale this a little bit. I to insert. There we go. And actually this is, I think the thickness is fine. And then we're going to press E, cancel, S to scale it, E to extrude it, and boom, right? So that's antenna. Now we're gonna have some knobs and keys or whatnot, right? So where's the front here? So we could have some kind of like, or maybe keyboard here from the bottom, you know what I mean? Kind of like suspended or some such. So D, and let's just create a keyboard. Oh, wait a minute, this is not an N-gon. One more time. Let me just turn this on here on the input, so I can cancel my N-gon very easily. This one. And deselect all and go to N-gon, and we're gonna go to line and create this kind of a situation. Yeah, press T to thicken this, and then E to extrude it. Oh, for fuck's sake, I cancelled. One more time. Okay, then E to extrude it and space. There we go. GX, come on. GX, move it in here. It's a little bit too deep, so we're gonna bring it in. Obviously, this is GG and move it in. GX, scale this. Do I prefer it? Maybe straight is fine. That's actually kind of fine. Let me make this smaller. So Shift Control B. Yeah, this is better. It was just too, you know, too flamboyant. Do you know what I mean? So, and here we could just grab this to loco and cut it. So D, and you know, cut it. Mirror this. Where's the mirror? Here. Let's go back and bring it in. So GZ and GY. Bring it in here. And we could just kind of, you know, apply this. So apply this, Shift D, scale this a little bit. In fact, let me scale it on X and then on Z like this. Yeah, and then we're going to cut a hole in it. Difference. And let me see this. Do we have a hole? Yes, we do. Let me just apply this hole. Let me see that. GZ, move it up. Oh no, I cannot mirror this because the top is asymmetrical, I forgot. Right, let's just run the bevel on that. Way the normals. Yeah, it looks cool. And this is gonna be kind of like a holographic display, you know what I mean, or some such, I don't know. But we're gonna cut a hole here. Maybe not hole, but maybe not a hole. Maybe kind of like a space. This should definitely be mirrored. Yeah, there it goes, wider. That's kind of cool. Actually, what we could do here is cut this one, so we could do something like this. Whoa. Cut that. Let's apply this SX and scale it there. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a holder. Hang on. Let me just grab this face as a guide, and let me move this one down. That's what I wanted. Okay. That's kind of cool. I think let's approve this. And I think this bevel is way too aggressive here. There we go. And let's bevel this. That's peachy. And here we could have another screen. So Shift Curve Extract. Right. And let's run some cuts here. I think that looks pretty cool. Then we could have some keys here. I mean, we could have some display, do you know what I mean? So this could be basically, you know, a display, right? So K and, you know, E and just extrude it a little bit, or even up, whatever. Maybe I'm just gonna leave it alone. Yeah, this could be a display, you know, keyboard display in here. These bevels are a little bit large, but fuck it. I know. It is what it is, right? And the side could have some keys, to be honest. So we could have some keys here, maybe beveled, right? So V, and you know, do that. Maybe 3 keys, and just bring it in. The bevel is a bit too crazy, so let's make it a bit less crazy and press T for solidification. And boom, right? And we got some keys on side. Easy peasy. The front, you know, the front could have some kind of screws and such. So what we could do is trace this front here, and maybe we could cut it. So trace it here along this line and down, right? And then X and slice it. So we got this kind of a element here, sharpen, right? Wait a minute. We need a bevel here. Fuck. Oops. Alt Z. Let's go Alt Z. I think it's no, it's not mirrored. Wait a minute. It's not applied yet. I think it's not applied yet. I have a scroll. Perfect. All right, that's good. Let's run the bevel here because we need a bevel here, right? And then we need a bevel here. So, where is it? And the problem is we can't mirror this. I mean, you can mirror this one because this one is symmetrical. So boom, right? Perfect. And now we can just, you know, pop some screws here. But I don't want to overdo it because we have screws here or whatever it is going to be. But we could have some, you know, tiny ones here and there. So we could just run a simple cut maybe here across, and maybe I think maybe one is fine. So one here, one on the other side, right? Okay, that's good. And this could be also split into two parts. So the top could be, you know, splittable. So we could do something like this here, X and slash it. In fact, we could do it like this. Oh, this could be interesting. And bevel here, X and slash it. Yep, that's really cool. And we could bring it closer so these two areas are not really of the same width, if you know what I mean. So, oh, wait a minute. Which fucking... Oh, yeah, because we have this custom orientation of this disoriented for a second. So this could be interesting, see what I mean? Or this. But I think this is better. Right, and then we can have some screws here in the back, right? So you know, one here, right, and one in the top. So let me just ever scroll this and Shift D Z, right? Booleans difference, right? And this is can we cut this? No, we're gonna have to mirror this. So let's mirror this across. And let's mirror this one across, right? Peachy, and we're gonna have screws in the back. Awesome, that's cool. Now this side here, we could have some handles or whatnot, right? So just carry this. So we could do this with an N-gon as well. Let me just turn on my N-gons. Line, perfect. One. And something like this here. I'm gonna have to an E to extrude it, right? Space. We're gonna have to mirror this. So let's just put a edge here, Shift S to edge, and then we're gonna mirror to the other side. There we go. Then we're going to grab these two, these four. And 5 segments, and then we're going to thicken this, right? So solidify it, and both ways. And this is a bit too thick, I think. There we go. Modifier solidification a bit more. Peachy. Sharpen this. Select these two edges. This is on the verge of collapsing, but I think it's fine. And then we're gonna bevel this. I think we're gonna be okay, right? Yeah, and then bring it in. So now we need to find a space for it. I think somewhere here will be good. Maybe offset here to the back is gonna look interesting. And bring it in, right? And then Alt X and mirror. And that looks pretty cool. I like it. Here too on the side we could have some cuts, you know, because reasons, right? So some small ones, you know what I mean? Like one here. Could actually be the what do you call this thing? A wedge cut. So we could array this to the back and obviously mirror them. It's gonna be pretty cool. That's a bit of a detail, you know, it's kind of cool. Here in the bottom we can have some vent or whatnot, you know, like on this side. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Or vent could be in the top, you know what I mean? So let me just save this again because something is fucking fishy. A vent could be somewhere, maybe somewhere here. Somewhere here would be nice. Yeah, let's make a vent. Let's make a vent somewhere here. Or at the, or maybe like this. Oh, this could be interesting. Right, one more time. B, okay, and cut it in. X, right. V, there we go, that's better. Okay, cool, and let's just cut it in the middle because you see the connections are fucked up in here. So press K and just, you know, run a connection here. That didn't do nothing. One more time. That's better. See, that got fixed. And we're gonna have some screws. Yeah, also this should be, you know, more or less in the middle here. So somewhere here, and let's run 2 screws. Yeah, one here. V, X, and Hardops is having a hard time. I mean, not Hardops, Blender. Let's just pop a screw here, and then V, X, there we go. And cut it, right? We can pop screws later on with some, you know, inserts from Keydubs or whatever. The top part here too could be sliced, just saying. So this could be sliced like this here, boom, right? And we could have some screws here in the back as well. So a screw in here. And then V, screw in here, boom, right? Awesome, that will do. And I would actually drop some notches here on the back just for fun. So it's gonna add a bit of a flair here. Come on. Yeah, something like this. B and Q for quad bevel. And let me just shift it to live S, Y, make it a bit smaller. And apply scale. Boom. Right. Let me see this. The bevel is, I think, overlapping, so where's the other bevel? Oh, there we go. If you press Q, you can adjust the other bevel, right? How this looks actually interesting. We could bring it to the front as well. So select that in edit mode, Shift D, Y, and bring it to the front here. How we looking? Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Now this is a bit too deep cutting in, so we need to kind of ease off on that one. So GZ here, and then GZ. Let me see that. It's cutting in, right? GX. There we go. So you have to be, this is tricky, right? Because you have to be below this bevel. See that? There's a bevel area here. So here we're gonna, I think maybe chamfer is gonna be good. It's fine. And we're going to cut this here in the bottom. Let's go with 50 segments. Let's sharpen and then, shift curve extract and scale this a bit. I think this should be a little bit thicker. Maybe that's gonna be better. And then we could have some kind of like a, base here, right? So I'm not gonna be building the base because, reasons, but let me just drop this down. I mean, I would need to bring a human here to see how, how tall this should be basically, right? But this could be kind of like an interesting, device here. That's kind of cool. And we could cut the middle here. Press B for bevel. And do this. Yeah, the bevel on these end guns is not really that amazing, to be honest. See, it doesn't really work. I'm gonna nuke it, apply this, and just bevel it manually. It's gonna be better. Right. Chamfer this. Mirror to the other side. That's cool. And here in the front, we could have some panel, right? So, maintenance panel, whatever the hell. VX and mirror. There we go. Oh, this one needs to be mirrored too. Whoop. But I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. We could also run a cut here like this in front. There we go. Right, and this is a little bit too thick, so right. And obviously we need the bevel here, so and we're gonna cut just the back, yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then Shift D, SS, and difference, and then apply this, and we can actually bevel this. Is fine like this. This is kind of cool. And this one is a bevel as well. And this should be, I think, this should be deeper here. Come on, one more time. Let me just grab. Can I see this somehow? I want this interior here. There we go, this one. And then Control plus, deselect this one, and then select these. There we go. So I want to move this up. Let me see that. I think it's gonna be better. Yep, that's much better. Looks a bit like Wally's brother. That's kind of cool. And then we need the human, here for the scale, right? This probably should be a little bit higher. Maybe even not. Maybe it's fine. But it's a, it's a kind of big terminal, right? Anyway, I think that's it, guys. You know, enough of this. That was fun. I mean, in the back here, we could still have something, you know what I mean? Battery pack or whatever. And, you know, if you're going to go asymmetrical, it's going to be more interesting, right? It's really cool to create these asymmetrical designs. You know, they're a bit more, they require a bit more work because you need to, you know, you need to be careful with mirrors, but they're kind of fun to work with, you know what I mean? Let me see this. This is fine, and this one, something weird going on in here. See what I mean? Let me apply this. There we go. It's the bevel. Let me nuke this. There we go. That was causing problems. I can smell these things, you know, like a hot neighbor. Do you know what I mean? She moves in and I know. Yeah, this cut here is a little bit unfortunate, but fuck it. And then we can just, you know, I don't know, put a vent here, something like a ventilator, whatever. And we could do this with decals, and it's gonna be fine. But I think maybe without it's gonna be better. Although, kind of looks cool. You know what we could do is two-face and add sphere, UV sphere. Yeah. Control 1 and, you know, sharpen this. I mean, what I could do is try this and bevel this. And then grab these, right? And then go to the back here and Q and, sorry, right click and go to loop tools and circle. And it's gonna fix it, you see? It's a bit of cheating, but, you know, no one's looking, so it's fine. And grab this one here, and we could put another sphere here. So, quad sphere, scale it. It's gonna look pretty cool. Something in the back, you know, like, I don't know. Something whatever, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. Let the nerds think about it. I'm building it, they're thinking about it, so it's fine. And here too, you could have some kind of, you know, I don't know, cuts, maybe top, bottom, or just bottom or top, whatever. Just to, you know, maybe release this sharpen. There we go. Cool, well that's it for this one. And like I said, if you want to learn how to use these add-ons, so hardups and box cutter, just grab our course, the ultimate guide to hardups and box cutter. And if you want to learn how to work with Blender vanilla, then you should definitely consider our course, the Hard Surface Accelerator, because it's gonna teach all the basics, everything you need to know about how to start with Blender, how to understand, you know, all these concepts of shading, you know, design, you know, tools, menus, workflow, all that stuff. And that's really important for, you know, building stuff in Blender. I also want some screws in here, so let me just mirror them here. Oh, that's not gonna work, fuck. Shift S and to select it, grab this one, alt text, there we go. And then we're gonna grab them, select them, Shift D, Y, and move them to the back, right? So there we go. And then I could just put screws, you know, later on using inserts from Master Xeon keytops, really easy. Not gonna be doing now because it's too much work, and this tooth is long enough. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.